Welcome to another beautiful day. We are right here, despite the heavy downpour. We are here because you deserve to know what's going on in the country. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and this is that time when we bring you to speed with the headlines for the day. Okay, if you're in Abuja, just get ready to go out with a raincoat or an umbrella today because it's raining and no one knows when it's going to stop yet. But then, you just deserve to know what's going on from the dailies this morning. Joining me is Bright and, of course, Benedict. Good morning, Bright. Good morning, Benedict.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Good morning, Benedict.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, he actually came in drenched. These are the prices we pay. All right, it's good to have you guys on Outnumbered today. Let's get started with the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. I think almost all the papers are talking about the protest, but then away from the protest this morning, Nnamdi Kanu's release will reduce tension. Southeast monarchs tell Tinubu. Details read on page 5. A nationwide protest fallout. That's the big story this morning, and that's the kicker. Then the main story says senators, reps, politicians desert Abuja, travel abroad. Who are they leaving the country for? Yeah, your guess is the same as mine. Some riders to that story, and I'll be taking the riders so quickly because I have about 4 of them so detailed. US UK Turkey top destination as anti-pro sentiments grow. The second rider says protests allowed, hunger, hopelessness, sponsors. Peter Obi. Students hold town hall in Enugu, resolved to back out. Blame past government for economic woes. This is coming from the Senate leader talking about Bamidele himself. And that's the big story this morning. Then 2 more and I will be done. Federal government sites 60 billion naira solar PV module assembling plant in Enugu State. The details read on page 27. NAF airstrike destroy 12 illegal refining sites in Abia and River State. Details read on page 5. So many more on the Daily Sun newspaper. So do well to pick a copy so you can go through it for yourself. And anyone that interests you, you can actually read the details. That's going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Sun newspaper as we move to the next paper. Over to you, Bright.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. With me this morning, I have the Punch newspaper. The first story we have here is fuel rises to 1,300 naira per litre as depots run dry. Fuel rises to 1,300 naira per litre as depots run dry. The other story we have here is only NNPCL can buy Dangote petrol. That's coming from Hypeman. The other story we have here is SIM and NIN leakage. Telcos begin final mass disconnection. Telescope begin final mass disconnection. We had a lot of reports yesterday that a lot of people have been disconnected. A lot of SIMs has been blocked. So the big story we have here today is hardship protests. US, UK, Canada issue security alerts. Traders fear looting. It's quite a normal thing for those big countries to issue security alerts for their citizens over here that they should be careful this period and know where they move to. I know that definitely they were giving a red zone. They were giving red zone areas to their citizens of where and where to visit and where not to visit this period. We have one writer to that story which says foreign missions foresee violence as federal government and Obi differ on protest sponsors. Foreign mission foresees violence as federal government and Obi differ on protest sponsor. The last story I'll be taking here today is victim under pressure to drop police station rape case family. I think that story is on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Punch of the Punch newspaper. That's all I'll be taking for the Punch newspaper. Over to you, Benedict.
Okay, we'll be looking at the Daily Trust this morning. From the header, we have anti-protest campaign heightens. Obi backs demonstration. Anti-protest heightens. Obi backs demonstration. And the second from the Daily Trust is Boko Haram attacks military, police in Borno, kills officer and IDPs. Boko Haram attacks military, police in Borno, kills officers and the IDPs there. And we have another story from the Daily Trust. It says, protest. Senator Baura appeals to promoters, says President Tinubu making genuine efforts to to tackle challenges. And we have the big story from Daily Trust here. It says, Zamfara lawmakers, local government chairs, district head nabbed over kidnapping. Zamfara lawmakers, local government chairs, district head nabbed over kidnapping. And we have some riders to that story. He says, he's our colleague. Majority leader confirms. He's a 3 community leader facing panel of inquiry. And the third one says, banditry coming to an end. That's the government of Zamfara State speaking there. He said, patient decries shortage of nurses, doctors in Kaduna Hospital. Patient decries.
It's not only in Kaduna State. In some of the states we've heard before now that there've been that issue. I don't know. The first time we heard was that there were no drugs.
Yeah.
Now, shortage of nurses and doctors. Why? What came to your mind? The Japa syndrome.
Yeah, the Japa syndrome.
They are leaving because of the working condition
The brain drain.
the brain drain. So
It's
that's the
having its
problem.
adverse effect already.
So
in the
many
country.
wahala in this country.
I think last week when we were reading one of the papers, he said we have doctors 1 to 1,000 patients.
1 to 1,000 patients.
1 to 1,000
Can you
patients.
imagine?
The brain drain is already
Country,
having the
and
adverse effect on the country.
that's a
already,
whole
right?
lot.
God
to
will
the
help
country.
us,
Okay, I'm going to take one of the stories from this Daily Trust on the footer here. He said, local government autonomy, fate of over 200 LCDAs hang in the balance. Fate of over 200 LCDAs hangs in the balance. Okay, so that will be all from the Daily Trust from me. Over to you, Mr. Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Benedict, for those headlines. Let's quickly look at The Guardian, which is going to be the last paper we will be taking right here today. The first one is the big story. I'm beginning from the big story. And it said that the kicker said 2 years after PIA, NNPCL struggled with over $5.3 billion loans, JV debt, commercialization. Then this one said that details read on page 6. Remember, outcry as telco bar lines days at a seeming deadline. Outcry as telcos bar lines days to seeming deadline. Details read on page 3. A lot of Nigerians are facing this right now, but then in this time of insecurity, this is happening, adding to what Nigerians are going through right now. Then if you look at it from the other side, you begin to ask questions. For how long has this been? What were they waiting for? Do they have ulterior motives? Why have their lines not been linked until now? These are so many questions coming to mind. Protest. Obi named sponsor as CPPE warns of 400 billion naira daily loss to economy. That's for the protest. Details read on page 6. This one says a peaceful Agoba poll not certain in Edo Ondo report once. Details read on page 5. Concern as Nigerian loses 6 trillion naira to tax waivers yearly. Details read on page 15. And this one says Serap sues Serap, okay? The civil society organization, Serap sues CBN over missing 100 billion naira dirty notes. A lot of things going on. A lot of shady businesses going on. Details read on page 5. And finally from here, support Dangote refinery to reduce petrol scarcity. Ex-NDIC MD tells regulators. And details read on page 3. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Guardian this morning. Let's quickly go on a quick break because we are itching to talk about the big story. The protest is looming. A lot of people are saying so many things. Where are you? Do you want the protest to hold or you don't want it to hold? But shocking. Some persons are already flying out of the country. People who are in authority. Who are these people? You'll get to know after the break. We'll return for more stories.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Hello and welcome back. It is still Outnumbered live on your screen, reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. And this is the time for the big story. It's good to have you right there. Let's talk about it. is something very pertinent, something very important, something that is of necessity. Why do we need to talk about this? Because the people who are the center of the whole thing seems to be getting out of the country, according to what we have on one of the papers today. And that's the Sun newspaper. I'm going to be taking you through just the lead of the story so that you can have a better understanding, while my colleagues in the studio here will add their voice to the conversation. Let's get their own part of the story. Where do they belong? This is from the Sun newspaper. You can pick a copy of the Sun if you really want to know more about this. It says, I'm just going to take the lead of the story ahead of the planned nationwide protest slated for August 1st. Senators, members of the House of Representatives, and some members of the Federal Executive Council, that is FEC, are temporarily moving abroad under the guise of medical checkup and summer holidays. The Senate and the House of Representatives last Tuesday hurriedly shut down the two chambers of the National Assembly to enable members, process their visas and beat the August 1st deadline for the nationwide protest. The same set of people who came up to say, all right, we are aware of what is happening. We are giving up 50% of our salary, all right, so that food can be bought for the Nigerian people. Why are they now running away? For who? The truth is this. Benedict, I'm just going to ask you this question. I'm going to come back to you again, but this question is this. Who are they running out of the country for? Okay? Because if protest is happening, if anything is happening, it's just like something is happening and the father of the house is not around. So, what did you feel when you heard that senators, all right, House of Rep members and politicians are running out of the country because of the impending, protest? That's the August 1st protest.
Okay, I don't know. I would say it's very hilarious first.
It's hilarious for real.
But I think it's a very good cue because looking at what happened in Kenya, I think most people are learning from that, because that protest was actually a very good lead for anyone to have, in Nigeria, we say have sense. Okay, I think they are actually looking at that. Just like you said when you were introducing, they gave up 50% of the salary. But the truth is, they didn't see that this thing is actually going to aid the people in the first place. I think they already know that they've done wrong in the sight of the people. You know, when you do wrong and you don't even know how to remedy it, you just have to flee away. I think the Sun newspaper was saying something. He said, we are going out because we don't feel protected. The president can stay in the country. I think that's exactly what the Sun newspaper wrote this morning. He said the president can stay in the country, but for us, we don't have the security that it takes to protect ourselves. So we are running away. We are just going abroad to go and stay there. So I think they are just going, maybe looking at what happened in Kenya, and they just want to save themselves.
Okay, I'm still coming back to you. But then, Bright, let me ask you, underline that word. We are not properly secured. We don't have enough security to stay in the country. They are running away. They don't have enough security. And they are the politicians, the ones in power, who have the well without, all the apparatus. Remember the bulletproof SUV that the average Nigerian never have. All right? Never had. As a matter of fact, let me ask you, if they are running away because they are not secured, what do you think of the average Nigerian who don't even have one civil defense? Not to talk about police yet. No civil defense attached to the person. Open to insecurity every day. So what would you have to say? Marry these two situations and talk to us.
Okay, you're asking me what do I have to say about the average Nigerian? Well, first
who have no security, people who have security in quote are running away that the security is not enough. What about the average Nigerian that for years have been without no security, zero security, as the case may be?
First of all, I'll address the question from the roots. The question is quite, the topic is quite misleading. The paper, the headlines, the way it was touched, it was quite misleading because the Senate announced last week that they're going to be going on recess, on a 7 weeks recess, which their calendar, if you look at the beginning of the year, they always have a calendar. They have all their programs already planned out for the year. So the recess has already been planned since the beginning of this year. You understand? So it's not because of the protest. The protest was announced inside May. sometime around May, that will be a protest on the 1st of August. So the Senate coming out to say they have their recess, which is their holiday time of the year, that their only holiday time of the year, that they have to go out, because these people have their lives before they became senators. They had their lives before they became House of Rep members or anything, you understand, or hold any public office. This is their holiday, you understand. So this is a time for them to go out and do their normal personal activities. That
they should travel out. Their recess should be outside the country.
Those people have the right and liberty to choose to choose their
okay, you're deviating from my question. Now, my question is, hold on for a minute. My question is, you have a security.
Yes.
I don't have it. You have a security. Yes. I don't have a security at all. We are in the same country, and a protest is about coming up. You're running away or whatever, or recess or whatever. You are complaining. Let me not just use the word running away or recess or anything now.
Very
but it's on the paper. That's why it's been mentioned.
Should be involved. Should be actually mentioned. Like, so and so senator said he's running away because he doesn't have security. That's a misinformation to the public. They're trying to cause a public security panic. Now, if that was to be true, according to the Sun newspaper, which I still don't buy anyway because they didn't mention names. Now, if that was to be true, these people have the right to say, okay, we don't have the security that the presidency has. We are trying to excuse us because of what they have seen in Kenya. That doesn't mean the average man out there in the street is not safe, because the people are not after the average man in the streets. These are targets. That's why they are making use of that statement that they don't feel safe. Not that the average man in the street is not safe, because those people in authority and they know that this protest is against them, because it's actually tagged end bad governance. Who is the government? Those people that are running away right now, that the claim are running away. You understand? So these people are actually right to say, okay, they are targeted and they're trying to,
and they have the right to run away.
So it's not the average man that is not insecure right now. It's those people that have been targeted that have the right to complain that, we have been targeted and we're trying to safeguard ourselves, because they have seen what happened in other countries. For example, he made reference to Kenya, and we saw what happened to Kenya when people ran into the House of Assembly, into the parliament there to cause mayhem. And we had those people run into the bush to save their lives. We saw videos on.
All right, hold your thought for a minute. All right, let me get to you, Benedict. As a matter of fact, as it is right now, they said one of the reasons why they are running away is because sometimes back, according to what we have in the Sun newspaper, an agent already said, okay, in the last 1 week, the number of tickets, all right, of visa that they've done for these members is so much. Then there is another place where they said, was it in 2002 or so? Is it 2002? Okay, in 2020, all right, in 2020, they said similar thing happened, and some of them were attacked at their constituency, all right, and their houses and their belongings were being vandalized. What does that tell you? Does it pass any message across that these people don't have a good relationship with the people they are representing? Because this one is coming from the constituency now, just not ordinary Nigerians. People who know you, people who are representing are the ones coming after you. Does it mean the people are not satisfied with the senators who are representing them and the House of Rep members?
Firstly, I would like to say that, when it comes to power in Nigeria, almost everybody wants to get power in Nigeria. And that's very, very bad if you start looking at it. Now, a lot of these people were people that they wanted this so badly to enter into power without knowing what to do with this power. You understand? Now, when you talk about the people and everything that is going on in the country, you see that these people don't really have a good relationship with the people. Okay, so the people see it as these guys are the people that are bringing things that are not relative to what we actually put them there for. I don't know if you understand that. Now, so when this kind of protest comes up, already they see themselves as the targets because they are not doing the minds of the people. Now, let's take, for instance, when the subsidy was removed earlier when the president took power, nobody complained about it amongst the lawmakers because all of them are feeding so well. They have everything they needed. And so you don't expect you are representing me at the top. You didn't complain about this thing. You see that your people are complaining about this thing. You didn't raise your voice to complain, but then you want the people to be at peace with you. I don't know if you understand. Now, when it comes to people are angry and they want to protest, you are going to see yourself first as the target. That's exactly what's happening to the lawmakers right now because they see themselves as the target. They are not defending the people itself. They are not the ones speaking for the people. The people are just there, restless. You see people dying of hunger and everything, and nobody is addressing it. And people are seeing all those billions. Every day you hear in the news, billions have been done
Sorry,
this one.
can I come in
Billions
here?
have been done here and
Please,
everything.
let me correct
And-
the narrative you're trying to pass.
okay.
Now, you see, this is one problem we're currently having. Now, last week we read on the
Our
papers.
time is up.
Last
We have-
Friday,
our
we
time
read on the
is-
papers when DSS and
right now.
DHQ gave a press released a press statement where they said they have identified sponsors of this protest, which is actually not just an ordinary end bad governance protest. It's actually been sponsored. They said by some political agents, some people that some.
But there
people
was
that
no name.
are
There was no
different.
name to it.
Yes, but it was released by the security agencies of the country, which I will hold because it's actually an official board that came out. You understand? That say, okay, this is what is going on right now. This is actually a political sponsored protest against government. So this is actually know that this thing is
And you believe
against
that?
them. They know that this thing is against them. So that's why they are all in panic,
Running
because
away.
it's a security alert. They are reacting to.
Okay, you mean the
They
security
are
has
reacting
asked
a
them to run
security
away?
alert. They are reacting on impulse because the security has already alerted them that these people are coming for you people. Because they are being motivated by this opposition political people.
Well, I think we are getting some things not very straight here. What the security agencies are saying, whether there are sponsors or not, okay, there is always this belief that protests like this is being sponsored by opposition. But the way it is, reality is telling to the faces of Nigeria. Everyone is seeing what is happening right now. It's a reality. So this protest, if you are in government, you're a politician, you're running away. I don't know if politicians are also on recess or maybe the sound didn't capture it well. Running away, I don't think that is the solution because you will run to come back. All right. But then, what state are you coming to miss this? Why not just do what you're supposed to do? Talk to people in your constituency. If you have a good relationship with them, let them not embark on this strike. But the problem is these politicians don't even care about the people and the people don't care about them anymore. I think it's part of the reason why we're having this problem today. All right, that's the size of the big story on Outnumbered this morning. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and make sure everything go on smoothly in this country. We are counting days to 1st of August. How is it going to go? Running away as a senator, as a House of Rep member, and as a politician. Is that the solution to the bad governance protest? My name is Ramsey Enoch. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.